Hey guys, welcome back to another CSS tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be talking about some of the different position types, and in particular I'm going to be talking about position absolute and position fixed. I decided to put them into a single video because they're pretty similar, like they're almost the same thing. So yeah, anyways, I'm just going to be talking about position absolute, but know that a lot of the things in this also relate to position fixed. There's just a few slight differences which I'll cover. So yeah, let's just leave that as it is, and let's just make some style tags. So yeah, you might be wondering what position absolute is and how to use it. So I'll show you guys how to use it. So let's say we have a div here. Let's just call this div1, and let's just put some content in it. Actually, we don't need to. We can just like give it a height and width. So div1, height of 400 pixels and a width of 400 pixels. And let's give it a background color so we can see it. So maybe I'll go with aquamarine this time. And yeah, there's our div. Okay, so position absolute basically just allows you to position it anywhere on the screen without regard to anything else. So let's say I have some headers here, like we have some, let's just say a title, then we have some h3 text and some content. I can just use this, and then let's just have those two. So yeah, let's just say our div was underneath all of this there. Okay, so we might want our div to just be in the background, and if we wanted that, what we could do is we could just give a position absolute, and once you've done that, you should see that it actually nothing happens yet because we haven't actually specified any constraints. So it's similar like to constraints if you come from mobile development, but what I can do now is I can say at the top it's going to be 0, then at the bottom, or not bottom because we already have a height constraint. So another thing you need to know is when working with position absolute, if you have the height and width, then you generally only want to supply 2. So since I have height and width, I can probably supply top and right, and now you'll see that it fills. If we didn't have this width, then what I could do is supply the left as well, like this, and you can see it takes up the entire thing. So yeah, that's basically position absolute, and now I can just put as much content as I want behind this, and you know, it's just not gonna matter because this is in its own sort of dimension, if you can say that. So let me just get rid of all that. I can also move it behind it like this. So yeah, oh actually no, we might have to use something called the Z index, but I'm not going to talk about that because that's another video. But yeah, so that's basically position absolute. All it does is it sees a parent element and it positions itself relative to that. So let's say we have another div and we set this to parent div, and let's give this parent div some constraints like height, let's give it 1000 pixels, and same width, and let's give this a background color of, I'm just going to pick green yellow. Okay, so this is our div, right? And now we can actually position this relative to this div, but we actually have to set this positions to relative, and now you see it goes in. So that's another one, position relative. I mean, it's basically the same thing, but it just allows it to act like an ancestor, and also allows you to change things like top, and you can see it just moves it relative to its original position. So yeah, now I can just move this div wherever I want, and this one will just follow it like that. So yeah, that's simple. Position fixed is basically the same thing, but instead of it being relative to its ancestor, it's relative to the screen. So that's why it's fixed, because even if its ancestor moves, this is always going to remain in the same place in the screen. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future tutorial. Bye.